I feel since my initiations, there's so much more calm in my body, so much more groundedness, relaxation, and also this knowing that life always has our backs, because look at how I ended up there. Nobody could have ever planned that out. That was just something else, arranging that. Welcome to the Seeing in the Dark podcast, the podcast for the women of the ancient futures, women that see beyond eyes and know beyond mind and are here to make a change from a deep communion with the mystery of life. Seeing in the Dark is about walking paths that have not been walked before and daring to show up for the mission and dream life that is knocking on your door. My name is Nicole Nima Costeres, mystic, medium, initiated priestess, and here to take you into the mysteries of purpose, power, ritual, and intuition. May you embody your own unique essence so deeply that your vibration naturally teaches, inspires, and assists others. Let's dive in. So, I want to share a little bit about my story. I was a social worker working in a 9-to-5 job. And there's nothing wrong with 9-to-5 jobs. It's just that I never really found my place in them. I loved working with the children. I was working with children in the crisis center. I was working with children that were having challenges in their behavior. I was working with children with parents with psychiatric problems. So I loved working with those children. The only thing is there was a whole system in the social work care, or however you call that in English, that I didn't agree with. There was a point where I was doing more paperwork than spending time with the kids. I was limited to a certain amount of days off during the year. I was feeling stuck. I could see there was a limit to the amount of money that I could make. I just felt this potential inside of me, but I couldn't really express it. Because around the time that I was a social worker, I was also already deeply on my spiritual path. And I wanted to explore and express those things that I was learning. I wanted to approach the children in a holistic way, but there was no space. So I felt like this odd duck as a social worker. And so I was longing for this freedom that I somewhere felt was possible. I just didn't know how to create it for myself. And at that time, I didn't really have the friends that were living a location-independent lifestyle. I didn't really have the examples of which direction to go in. I just had this frustration, you could say, of I feel something else is possible. I just don't know how. But at the same time, I was also really scared to leave the safety of my job. I didn't have any business experience at all. Like I didn't know how to charge for money, like how to ask for money. I didn't know how to build my website. I didn't know anything about content creation or messaging. So I'm sharing this with you to let you know that no matter where you are in your business journey, you can develop from where you are right now, because I literally started at zero. And so I was also this person that you could say was Miss Universe in hiding. I was really, really scared and inward with the things I was standing for, believing in. And so I'm also sharing that to let you know that these are all things that we can train and develop. My journey with my business started about a decade ago. My big dream then was to have my own massage practice. And what I do today is completely different. And I will share also more about that, because how our vision in life unfolds, it's fluid, right? So it has a certain frequency that stays the same usually, or very similar over time. Like the core frequency of my business is very similar to a decade ago. But then also the practical expression of it has changed a lot. So whatever you're going to discover during these days, trust the core frequency of it. And it might be that exactly what you're seeing, you'll end up doing, but it might be also that you need to hold that with an open hand, and it might shift shape over time to a form that fits you even better than you could imagine before. So it was really scared for me to leave the safety of my job. And I just let that intuition that was knocking on my door saying, you need to go full time in your business. I let that knock for, I think, 3 or 4 years. So I was having my business as a side job, basically. And it was knocking on my door, knocking on my door. And I was too scared to make the jump until one day where the discomfort of not doing it became bigger than the fear of doing it. So I actually got a herniated disc in my lower back and I couldn't do the work as a social worker anymore. And I felt, now I need to make that jump, because it was so uncomfortable to not listen to that inner calling that was calling me. So from that moment on, I made a promise to myself to always follow my intuition, to always follow those intuitive whispers that are knocking on my door, no matter how many fears or yes buts are coming up. One of my teachers, I make this joke every time, but I just really like this, what he said. One of my teachers says, write all your yes buts on the ass list and wipe it. And that's what I did over and over and over again, just to not let all these yes buts get in your way, because they are actually the doorway into more of you. They're the doorway into more fulfillment. And so we need to learn to become comfortable with discomfort when it comes to our business journey. I never met anyone who was never uncomfortable in their business journey. If you are here, reveal yourself. But I never met anyone, because coming out with your soul work comes together with discomfort. And I think this is one of the things that I always bring a lot of attention to in my programs and in events like this, to remind you that this is normal. Not only normal, it's actually a good sign when you are uncomfortable, because it means you're stretching out of the familiar into the unknown, into more of you. And the more you're doing this, the more you will also learn to become comfortable with discomfort. Yes. So I made that promise to myself to always prioritize my intuition. No matter how scared I am. Sure, sometimes it was really scary. I would just break it up into little pieces, because we don't have to overwhelm our nervous system and let it freeze. We can even do that gently, but I would always move into the direction of where my intuition is guiding me. And that decision completely changed my life. And not in small ways. It just created this momentum where there was a point where I quit my job, I ended my relationship, stopped the lease on my house, shaved my head, sold my car, brought my dog to a friend, and started traveling. And from that moment on, I lived a location-independent lifestyle, had nothing but the backpack on my back and a ticket to India in my hand. And I was saying, life, I don't know where we're going, but I'm here for it. And this changed my whole life. And today, I live a lifestyle where I travel around 2 to 3 months a year, sometimes a bit less, sometimes a bit more. I have a beautiful home base in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. I just celebrated 5 years together with my partner, who I share a similar lifestyle with. I found like-hearted friends that are also entrepreneurs and have beautiful, conscious businesses that live location-independent lifestyle. And that was a big change for me, because I was the odd duck that was like the only one practicing spirituality in my friend circle. And so there was a time where I felt really alone in my spiritual journey. And why do I share this with you? Because some of you might be there now, where you feel a bit alone, or where you feel like the people around me, I don't really resonate fully with them, or they don't fully understand me. But know that the more you will come out with who you are, the more people will also come in that do match with who you are right now. And sure, I have also some friends from back then still, also beautiful. My business also completely changed. My first year in business, I made 5,000 euro over the year. And now I'm making the last 3 years an average of 200,000 euro a year. So that means a growth of 40 times. That's not even like, how do we even explain that? But now I'm the CEO of an international company that supports thousands of women all over the world. I made almost 600,000 euro in revenue over the last 3 years. And all the offers, I can truly say, each and every single offer in my business feels deeply true to my heart and to who I am. And anytime when there is a point where it doesn't feel like that anymore, I give it back to life. And I say, okay, life, this doesn't feel good to me anymore. And sometimes that means my main income offer is asking to go. And it's scary. But I know if I don't trust my intuition, if I don't trust my alignment, I will lose part of myself along the way. My business to what it is today, I also have a team now, which 3 years ago, I could not have even imagined. I was doing the work of 10 people. And I know that some of you must recognize that, because when you are an entrepreneur, you are your own web designer, your own content creator, maybe your own photographer. You are your own, I don't even know, your own coach, your own facilitator, your own, you have so many different roles. And some of them we're not even good at, but we have to do it because we're the only ones in our business. Yeah. Because without the support of my mentors and my coaches and my team, I would not be able to do what I'm doing today. And I think there must be some of you that can relate with the strong, independent woman that thinks she can do it all by herself. That was me. That was me big time. I thought I could do it all by myself. I didn't need any support. I'm strong. But actually, doing the work of 10 people was a bit too much. Just a quick break from this week's episode to let you know that registration is open for my 90-minute masterclass, 5 Keys to Create a Lifestyle Beyond Your Wildest Dreams. These are 90 minutes completely for free that will help you to no longer feel trapped or limited by your current lifestyle. It will help you release the doubt and unclarity about your visions and dreams and help you to dissolve your own fears and limiting beliefs around what is possible for you. This masterclass will also point you into the direction of a mission that fulfills you to your core. And I know this is possible for you because I did the same, and I've been supporting hundreds of women in creating a lifestyle beyond their wildest dreams. I was a social worker working in a 9-to-5 job, a job that I in some ways loved, but also in many ways felt limited by. I felt a deeper potential and a big dream to be able to travel the world whenever, wherever I want, to work with women from all over the world. I had a big dream to create a location-independent lifestyle with a conscious, loving partner and a community of like-hearted friends. And so all that I learned along the way, I poured into this 90-minute masterclass for you to discover the steps to create a lifestyle beyond your wildest dreams, to find trust in your vision and dreams, connect with the version of you that is already living it and doing it, and tap into the mission that feels true to your heart and soul. I warmly welcome you into the 5 keys to create a lifestyle beyond your wildest dreams. You can find the link below this episode. Click the link and register now and join me to live a lifestyle beyond your wildest dreams. Back to the episode now. So today I would love to take a moment to focus on this lifestyle of your dreams and the connection with your most free and alive self, because I feel that this is more important than our business. So before we dive into our business and, what is going to look like, what is the soul of my business and all those things, I find it really important that we also look at our connection to our higher self or our most free and alive self and the connection to the lifestyle that we want to live. Because you can have an amazing business, but if you then don't have space anymore for a lifestyle that feels deeply nourishing, that can be a road towards burnout. It can be a road towards undernourishing friendships and relationships or adventures that you want to go on. So this is why I love to start with this. To start with seeing what is actually that lifestyle that I would love to live, and to find the trust that it's possible for you. Because when I first I remember a friend of mine, maybe you know her, Ronja Sebastian. She was living this location-independent lifestyle at a time in my life where I had no idea how to do that. And I saw her live that, and something in me said, she is embodying something that I feel that feels really true for my lifestyle as well. So I started to see people that lived these certain aspects of the lifestyle that I wanted to live. And even before the how or the what or the when or the where, it was just seeing that frequency and tasting that vibration that shifted something in me. Yeah, so this is also why I'm sharing a bit about my lifestyle, that I love traveling to places where I can go through deep experiences. This is my favorite. I don't really go to all-inclusive holidays laying on the beach. If that's your thing, you can totally go for it. But I love to go to a place where I can have a deep experience, like I did with my Vipassana retreat in India, or my yoga training in India, or my total of 26 days in complete darkness in a dark retreat in Mexico by myself, or my initiation into the indigenous tradition in West Africa, or my plant medicine diet in the Brazilian Amazon. These are the things that I love doing. So I want to take you on a practice in a moment where you will have a chance to connect with the lifestyle of your dreams, whatever that is. And it doesn't have to be in full detail, it can, but to mainly trust some of the flavors that you taste. Because for me, it was having a partner with whom I can share a similar lifestyle, location independent, devoted to personal development, love traveling, things like that. For me, it was being surrounded by like-hearted friends or eating organic food. I remember the first time when I started doing that years ago, it was scary because it was more expensive and I needed to stretch myself into something, you know? So what is that for you? That is something we're going to discover. What are those flavors that make up the lifestyle of your dreams? And maybe you're working really hard in a job right now and you think, all I want to do is drink cocktails and lay on the beach. But I think that will also get boring after a few weeks. So what is that lifestyle? Like, how do you want to live your life? Where do you want to live your life? And trusting that that is possible for you, even if you don't know how exactly you're going to create it. Besides that, you will also have a chance to meet your most free and alive self. So it's the version of you that is already embodying and living it and doing it. It's the version of you that is fully embodying her essence. And this is the meditation that I probably did the most of all meditations in my life. And every time when I connected with my most free and alive self, she was embodying something that she was inviting me into a next decision, a next direction, a next expansion. Sometimes maybe she was inviting me to embody a certain quality within myself. Maybe sometimes she was inviting me to make a decision, to contact a person, to travel somewhere, to join a certain training, or to work with a certain coach. And I want to give you the opportunity to meet your most free and alive self, to see what advice she has for you, what she's embodying, what she is showing you. When I look back at this journey of creating this lifestyle, I would say 80 to 90% of the work was making myself available for it, meaning all the limiting beliefs, all the limiting things in my body, all the things that I was getting in my own way with it. Yeah. So this dream lifestyle and business, a lot of the work is making yourself available for it. Instead of trying to get there and trying to force it, it's opening yourself up so it can naturally come towards you. And this will trigger and push out many different things. I feel curious to how did you feel in this connection with your most free and alive self and the lifestyle of your dreams? Because here is a tuning fork that we're tapping into. Because the more I could connect to how I want to feel in my life, that vibration of that dream lifestyle, the more naturally I could embody it and also attract it. For me, when I started with, because there was a whole gap, right? I shared a bit about where I started as a social worker, and then I shared a bit where I'm at right now. But there is a whole gap in the middle that I didn't share a lot about yet, but I will. But one of the things that I did when I started my business is I started to birth my business from the outside in. Meaning, I set up a company called Happy Moms, which was a company for mothers. And I wanted to offer courses to mothers. And I did the marketing training and I learned all the strategies and I printed my business cards and I designed my whole business according to how I should be doing everything. And nothing ever happened with this business. It never took off, not even one session or one. I never sold anything with this business because I was trying to birth it from the outside in. And so when Women of Ancient Futures came to me, I found a connection with the soul of my business. And I realized that your business and my business and our business has its own soul. It's like an alive entity or vibration or field, you could say, that has its own qualities, its own characteristics, its own colors, its own flavors. And when you can go into connection with the soul of your business, when you can commune with this being like you would in a relationship, wow, this is where magic started to happen. And so I remember building an altar for Women of Ancient Futures, where I started collecting all the symbols and all the items that I felt were representing her soul. I started to listen and commune as if I'm in a relationship with a good friend. And I started to realize that this soul is coming to me for a reason. You know, I am the spokesperson for this soul. Because if I don't stand up and speak up for this soul, nobody does. And it's the same for you. Whether you are just having the idea for your business or you're already in business for years, your business has a soul of its own. And when you can go into relationship with it, which we already are, it's just, are you in a conscious relationship with your business? Then it becomes so much easier to birth and expand your business from the inside out. Because you're prioritizing this relationship over what you think you should be doing. You're prioritizing the connection and the whispers that come to you over what you think is best to do in the market right now. So I wish you a beautiful evening, a beautiful day, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you so much. Much, much love. Mwah. Did you receive any inspiration, motivation, or powerful breakthroughs by listening to this episode? Then please share this episode by taking a screenshot and tagging me in your stories at nicole.nima.costeres. I would love to celebrate you, share you in my stories, and it would mean so much to have my work reach more powerful, passionate women like you. Thank you so much and looking forward to see you next week.